Okay, third time trying this, battery just died. Alright, again, I'm showing you how to do a iPod mini 2nd generation. This is a 2nd gen, you can tell because the color here on the click wheel, that's what this part is called, matches the casing. Also, when you're buying one of these to mod, only place to get them is really eBay unless your parents have one. Who knows? It says 2005 down near the bottom of the printing here. I just have something covering up a scratch. So, tools you'll need. You'll need a thin, like, butter knife. It's a butter knife, but I don't care about that. It's mainly because it's a thin enough blade. It can get into these bezels up top. You're going to need one of these to take out what's called a circlip, a little plastic prying tool, and then a screwdriver, and then we'll get started. So first tool you'll need is this. You're going to slip your tool into the top, make sure it's in the hold position here, slip it into the top, kind of pry at it. Yours will be a little more difficult than mine because yours has double-sided stick tape on it. We're going to set this to the side there. Then we'll move to the bottom. This one is similar. Just kind of have to dig in. There we go. Like I said, yours will be more difficult. Yours will be glued. Mine isn't, since I've taken it apart before. Now, we don't need the butter knife anymore. This is the part we need. And we need to stick an end, something small like this. It doesn't need to be this, something small, to get into this. And pry it up slightly. And then do the same. I'm struggling with it right now, but we'll try. You need to be careful because there is a ribbon cable under here that controls your click wheel. That's why I'm kind of trying to do this side first. Got that side done. Okay. And slowly but surely pry it up. And then, once you get both sides, or you only need to do one side, there you go. First, I need to get a little Allen key real quick, mainly because I have a part in there that y'all don't have. There it is. Just a simple little Allen key. Come on. Okay, just a little piece of wood. I'm going to put that up there with my parts. Okay, now we need your little tool here. You gently pry up on this connector here, back and forth. You have to be gentle with this. You don't want to break it, although you can find replacement parts. And I will put a link in the description below for parts for this, where I got them. So now that we've done that, you need your small Phillips head or cross bit screwdriver. There are 2 screws, one right here, and you're gonna take them out. Typically don't use a screwdriver like this, but you want to put those screws up there with your parts, and you want to keep them safe. Okay, now that that's there, our click wheel is out. Fun part, you have to push all of this out from here out. Real quick, we'll put that up there. This is the drive that's originally in there. Like I said before, I've done this mod before, or I've already done the mod to this device. this is what you're going to be replacing if you're doing the mod. If you're just replacing the battery, you're just taking the battery out and putting in an aftermarket one. Can get pretty, they are good. I use mine daily, maybe, sometimes. Otherwise, it will last a whole month on standby time without having to charge it, so you're fine. But this is what the mod is replacing, and we'll get into that. So now that we've done that, sorry about background noise, neighbors. You want to take your fingers here and gently push out, and you'll start to see the screen move, and it'll come up through the top. Gently pull all the way out. We'll set our casing there. So now, this is your board. Grab it by the edges, please, or like this. These don't like to be short-circuited. So, your battery, if you're just replacing the battery, you flip up and wiggle out. It's kind of difficult, sorry you can't see it, but that's your battery. Put that there. And then here is your cable. I like to use this in order to get these things out. When you are doing yours, since yours will not be flash modded yet, yours will have this in its place. It'll be sitting right about there, and there'll be black tape around it. You just have to remove that in order to do them. Take the drive out. Don't need the drive, but we'll keep that here. So this is what the board will look like. We're gonna do the flash mod now, but I've already done it. But what you'll do is you'll take an SD card. We'll grab one just to show you guys. This is just a micro SD card to SD card adapter. These work too. I just chose a full-size SD card because it is kind of cheaper at the moment. Higher data rate speeds. Yes, this really can't take it, but don't get I got an extreme edition. The ultra one is fine, but don't get us. Brands are SanDisk, and that's only one I really trust for SD cards. Other ones I've ran into issues where they just don't work as well. So please use a SanDisk. They're the best at this kind of stuff, or not this in particular, but SD cards, that is. But you just I have tape covering up mine, but you put your micro SD card or SD card into this adapter. I put tape on the SD card itself and my outside so that it doesn't get knocked off. Yes, I have knocked it out of its place before, and you'll have a dead drive symbol, but it's not really dead. That means the SD card came out. The reason this will work is because these are the same exact pinouts here. All compact flash, that's what this is called. And then it's just a compact flash to SD card adapter. This is iFlash. They're the best ones to do this. I mean, this is my daily driver. It is a 5th gen customized by Obsolete Electronics. I will put his link to his store in the description almost every single video, because he is amazing, nice guy to talk to. And I got the limited edition, or special limited edition U2 Gold back. Yes, I do have U2 on there, so it's not just for looks anymore. But it is, if you want a full-size iPod, he's the guy to go to. We'll put that up in the corner. So now that you've done this, you need to format your SD card beforehand. It just works better and it's a smoother experience. You're going to kind of lift this up. This is removable, by the way. Some are easily removable than others. You push in till you hear a kind of a soft click. Then you kind of set it down. Then your battery. This is 550 milliamp hours. That's fine. You don't Like, this guy's 650, and these guys last for a week without charging it up every single day. So a monochrome display, which means it's just black and a background, that's it, no colors. It will last a month with ease. I just threw my battery. So you're going to have a little nubbin on one side. It's very little. You're going to have a little notch on the connector, and you're going to push in until it stops. And then your flat side, this kind of has a jank thing right here, but your flat side goes down, and then you kind of want to maneuver the wires so that they aren't in your way. You'll see why we have to do that later. Now that we've done this, I personally, also, before I continue, there isn't a, what's called a resistor right here. It's called C78. Please do not knock that off. I knocked off mine. I'm lucky my iPod still works fully, but you might not be. The click wheel will start acting up. It won't work properly. You're going to run into issues where it will randomly do things when you don't want it to. It's just a bad time. So be careful. So when you are installing this, make sure that's all lined up. Yeah, people say don't get fingerprints on it. I don't care, honestly. I've had them on there before. So you're going to carefully line up. There are 2 rails you can see. Carefully line it up. Start sliding it in. But once you kind of get to where the battery is on the back, you want to look down the center and slowly guide it in. And be careful you don't knock anything off. It's kind of difficult, but you can get the hang of it. And then you'll run into where these wires, these are thicker than the original ones. You'll kind of have to push them out of the way and then slide in. Then now, before we go on, I take my screws that we pulled out from the top, tighten them down. Okay, do not over tighten them. I've broken them before. They suck to get out, so do not over tighten them. Just tighten them until they don't move anymore. Okay, that's the last of the screwdriver we need. Before we actually button this all the way up, put your click wheel, this connector right here in. Now you have the little switch here. You want to flick it on for now. And we're powering on our device just to make sure everything works. You want to get, when you're doing this, when you're having iTunes being installed, please do not use the Microsoft iTunes. Use your go through apple.com and get the iTunes from them. The one from the Microsoft store sucks. It doesn't allow you to do a full restore. It kind of puts bugs in your devices. It sucks. I've had it happen to me before. It's no fun. So now, turn the backlight on. Backlight works. We'll make sure click wheel works, which it is because we're moving around in the menu. Center button works. Can see I already have stuff on it. That's why 4 gigs would not work for me because I am using 9 gigs of storage right now. Which is a lot of music, guys. 747 songs, and I'm not even done putting a lot of my library on either of these. I'm daily driving this one for now, but this one I use on runs, so I put all my music that's on this one, and same for that. We'll go test a song. Yours will not be doing this. You will have to restore it through iTunes. Mine is just like this already because I've done this before. And it's just, I unplugged the drive, plugged it back in, everything's still there. Here, we'll choose an album, we'll go to Pink Floyd, awesome band, by the way. It's playing. We'll make sure it plays. It's now playing. We're making sure skip works. Skip is working. We're making backward skips, plays and pause. Okay. Now that that is happened, can put it back on the lock. And now we can take, where did I put my, oh, sorry, that's the circlip we need. Put this back in carefully. Oh wait, sorry. I put a little piece of wood in there. It's just to put mounting pressure since this is considerably thicker than the adapter you're using. It's just there. And most people don't need it for theirs. I use it because I'd rather be safe than sorry. And iPod I built recently, it was a pink 2nd Gen Mini, and I put 16 gigs in it. It relied on the mounting pressure on the back of the click wheel to the motherboard in order to properly work the display. So sometimes they rely on it, other times they don't. So now to put the circlip back on, you want to put it in these grooves here on one side. Take your one tool that we used before to get the circlip out, put it in the holes, and kind of push it down while bending it in. You'll hear clips. Mine is clips. Mine kind of moves a little because mine has been taken apart multiple times. Now, you take your back bezel piece. These don't need anything really at all. You have prongs here. The one that doesn't have anything on this side, like here, they have both on both sides. The one that here, that needs to go on this side since the ribbon is there. You can kind of feel how if it doesn't want to go in. Well, here a snap, that means it's in. For the top, I have a glue that I use, sorry for the keyboard. A glue, just put a little bit on the top, come on. Why isn't it this? Oh. No, I got it on me. No! Crap. That's not good stuff to get on you. Right now, I'm just going to use an Allen key, spread this around a little bit. This is just in place of the double-sided stick tape, because once you remove this stick tape, does not like being put back. So put a little on there. Make sure your switch here is facing that way. Your lock switch is also that way. Push it down. And then you have a buttoned up iPod mini. 2nd Gen. You always have to make sure it's a 2nd Gen. Please. If you do a 1st Gen, you only can replace these with drives that are aftermarket, which is 4 gig and 6 gig. You might do 5 gigs, but I think it's just 4 and 6. So that's the original battery. I keep this one. You don't have to. I would, because if something goes wrong with the SD card or the adapter, you kind of lose your iPod, and this is a working drive. It still works, so you just toss it in there, take it all apart, toss it in there until you can get it working again with the SD card. When you're doing this, you can do with a 2nd Gen Mini, you can do anywhere from 4 gigs all the way up to 256 gigs, which is a lot of music. That's roughly 108, it's roughly 30,000 songs. 128 is roughly 15 or 16,000 songs, which is a ton of music. But some people put 512 gigs on them, but it becomes a RAM limitation of these. These don't have a lot of RAM, maybe a couple gigs. But you just have to be careful, realize how much storage you want. A lot of people commonly say how much. I say 16, because nobody is like me, and I kind of go overboard with my stuff, and I always get extra, more than I need. So that's just me. And that is the tutorial. I will link again the r/r/iPod Discord. That will be in the description. I will link Elite Obsolete, who built me my iPod, my 5th gen, in the description. I'll link Dank pods, and then I'll link what's called iDemiGods.com. They are the people who I buy all my parts from for these minis. The batteries, the top bezel, the bottom bezel, you can get motherboards, click wheels, replacement housings, whatever you really need from there. The adapters themselves for the SD cards. And that's it for this video. Tomorrow, my partner, what's his name? On Discord, he is at Accordy. He is making a video about nanos. These guys, these are also iPods. This is a 7th gen, the newest and last iPod Nano. Throwing this thing around, god damn it. And then the 1st gen Nano, which I put a vinyl wrap on because the back is disgustingly scratched. In the comments below, please comment whether you want to see me put Rockbox on here, and I'll go through the whole issues and troubleshooting of all of it. And Rockbox is just another OS. But that's it for today's video. Tomorrow, my partner will be posting something on the minis. I don't know what. He hasn't told me, so it'll be a surprise. And stay in tune for tomorrow. Thank you, and welcome back to iPod Gods.